Good morning. Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Friday. Lindsay, you got in before the show even starts. Welcome. Good morning. And Lissa, good morning to you too. Oh, y'all, it's Friday. I put on a real shirt for you today. That's saying something, let me tell you. I even got a little clear lip gloss on for you this morning. Crazy. Crazy. Um, Hello, welcome to the Merry Morning Show. This is the end of week 2 of the Merry Morning Show, and we have 1 week left before chaos. Chaos before the morning show ends. But it's such a fun little thing. Let me tell you, this has been getting me going in the morning, like really truly. Um, get up and get kind of dressed. I just got dressed before I came here, but like the whole like get moving, do all the things and all the things. I got my morning pages done today. I have not been consistent with the morning pages, but I have been doing the morning pages as when I have time. There are some days I've been waking up and by the time I like get up and moving and take care of the dog and do all the things, I don't have time for the morning pages because they take me about 20 to 30 minutes every day that I do them because I do the 6 pages that are recommended. I do my morning pages. My 6 pages are 3 pages front and back. It would take me an astronomical amount of time if I did 6 pages front and back. Good morning, April and Amberly. Oh man, it's Friday and I'm feeling good about it. This weekend, we are celebrating our Christmas here in Florida. So tomorrow is Christmas number 1, um, which is so super fun. I almost forgot about this. I'm still in bed. Get up. It's a day. Let's go. I once again was reflecting and journaling this morning on the whole the steps that you need to take to get it done. You just need to keep the promises to yourself to get it done, even when motivation is lacking, even when you're like, I don't really wanna. Like at the end of the day, Rosie, good morning. Happy Friday. Um, for me, it's a lot of like, I know the steps that I need to do to take it. I just have a problem doing the thing. And it's interesting because some of like upon a lot of self-reflection and whatever, I'm going back to like, well, with content creation and all these things, like, how did I pull it off back when I had 3 jobs? And still, like, granted, I wasn't like running a YouTube business, but like I had 3 places of employment and I still made sure that I made time to sit down and film, albeit not high quality, but content and things like that because it was fun and I enjoyed doing it and all of those things. And with the workouts and with the steps and with the I'm gearing myself up mentally for my cut, like all these things, I'm sitting and reflecting. I'm like, what is the difference between letting it fall to the wayside and actually getting it done even when you don't want to, which is crucially important for the obliger in myself, right? It's crucially important that I figure out how I can do it by myself. Because yes, I'm an obliger, but and for some things I can find the accountability I need, right? But not for all the things. There are still things that are completely self-driven that I need to drive myself. And I keep going back to, and I need to go back and like listen to some of his content and like really get psyched up by him. But I keep going back to Ed Milet. And the only thing you have to do in this life to succeed is to keep the promises you make to yourself. I don't know if he says the only thing you have to do in life is to succeed, but you get what I'm saying? Like, if you keep the promises. So if I keep the promises, I'm going to stay on track with my macros today. I'm going to get 10,000 steps today, and I'm going to complete this workout program. Like, and I'm going to do the work like it's my job. Like, keeping these promises to yourself is definitely what is going to get you to do the things. And not only that, you'll get the things done, but then you also build the self-esteem, the self-confidence in yourself. Hence it's self-confidence. Um, that you can do it. Whatever it is, you can do it, you know? Um, so that's what's been on my mind. I am currently thinking about how I'm thinking about January. I'm thinking about content. I'm thinking about different kinds of videos that I can start making for y'all. Um, and I'm having a good time brainstorming it. And I'm thinking about work hours and how exactly am I going to accomplish this and that and the other thing. And it's all, you can tell what phase of my cycle I'm in because I'm jazzed. I'm jazzed. Let's go. Um, and yeah, that's where I'm at this morning. I need to apply this to my schoolwork. Yes, yes. I bounded out of bed like Tigger, as per usual for me, fully ready to tackle this Friday and make things happen. I almost bounded out of bed like Tigger this morning. I have an alarming amount of energy this morning, which for me isn't always that much, but like I'm awake and I'm like, huh, I actually feel ready to tackle this Friday. Huh. Interesting. Because that's not often the case with me. Like it took me a couple minutes to shake off the sleepies. And interestingly, what happened was I woke up before my alarm by about 20 minutes this morning. And as I was about to get up and go use the bathroom, my husband sneaks in and jumps in the shower. So I'm like, fine, I will lay here. And so I scrolled social for a couple of minutes. So I probably was on my phone for 10 minutes, just screwing around, seeing what happened. He got out of the bathroom, out of the shower and everything. And I was like, great, my turn. And I hopped up, I went and did the things. And like, I don't know if that extra time chilling in bed for just 10 or 15 minutes was the thing that like allowed me to wake up before I got out of bed, as opposed to my alarm goes off and I drag myself out of bed right away. I don't know if that's the thing that made the difference. I have no idea. My sleep scores were fine, not the ultimately awesome sleep score, but my readiness was 85, which isn't the highest it's been all week. It was higher yesterday, but yesterday I felt very draggy. But that could also be the massage I got yesterday. Y'all, I got an epic massage yesterday. It was amazing. When you go and you get yourself a massage, if you can handle the pain, tell them what's wrong and have them fix it. And the masseuse is a friend here, and she comes to the house every week to do my mother-in-law, and she did me yesterday. And so, like, I'm not afraid to be like, she's like, "What's going on?" And I was like, the back of my legs feel really tight, especially near my joints, and I've been having this problem with tightness in my shoulder. And wow, it's sensitive to the touch. And like, I literally have range of motion issues. And so she actually spent time. She goes, all right, this is where the tightness is. If you want me to work on it, it ain't going to be pleasant. And I was like, go for it. Do the thing. And she buckled down and got hard. And like, while it's not like the perfect, like my range of motion hasn't returned completely, it helped. She moved my arm around, made sure that everything was like moving. She's like, well, it's not perfect, but I loosened you up a little bit, which is tremendously helpful. Ask for what you want, y'all. This is why breaking your goals down into little pieces is so important, so that when you write something down and tell yourself you will accomplish it, it's actually plausible and motivating. Yes, 110%. I was just looking at one of the things that popped up on Instagram today was somebody's power sheets. And every year in the power sheets, they have like this kind of annual breakdown of just a square for every month. And this seems so simple, but and like it's the same as it is every year, but they changed the verbiage on that page. So I'm getting all the text messages this morning. My gosh. So for like first quarter, instead of calling it Q1, so it's like January, February, March. Yeah, that's right. January, February, March. They call it season one. Season one, season two, season three, season four. And somebody had little like half page post-it notes or whatever, like the little flags of like moving around different things that they can put in each month and in each season. And like, I don't know if it's meant to be season like winter, spring, summer, and fall, but I took it as literally like seasons on a TV show. Which is that crazy to like I was like, season 1. So January, February, March is season 1. How can we have an entire story arc in season 1, but plug it into the bigger picture of the entire TV show? Like that's where my head went when I thought about 4 seasons within the year, which is a perspective that I had never taken before. And I thought that was really interesting because I was like, this is just new and kind of motivating because it was new and because it was different. And I don't know, I thought it was super fascinating. And I was like, okay, so what can I do in season 1 to kind of give my character, me, a full story arc, a full story, a full thing but also it's just part of the bigger picture. Um, Thankfully, this always gets me motivated and going. I'm so glad. So I give myself 15 minutes in bed before I have to get up, and I love it. I have to turn the lights on and prop myself up on pillows. Yeah. I don't know. I was just so I didn't think about it until in real time. As I was speaking to you guys, I realized, what if that's the thing that made me like, okay, let's go. And like I hit the ground running because I gave myself a couple minutes to just and like for somebody who's like not I want to be scrolling less or whatever. And I think Lakin does this too. Instead of, and correct me if I'm wrong, Lakin fans, but I'm pretty sure her morning routine has been because she logically knows, she understands that, like, while the ideal situation is to not touch your phone until later in the day, do all the other things, read, journal, whatever. The reality is she has a hard time with that. So instead, she built in 15 minutes to screw around on her phone first thing in the morning so it's done and she can put it down. And so I'm wondering if that's kind of like, if that's what I should do. Set my alarm a little earlier, pick up my phone, give myself that time to be like, what happened on social in the last 8 hours? And then put my phone down and be ready to go for the day, you know? Um, because for whatever reason, I'm feeling much more awake today than I have in days past. So I think that's interesting. And it's something that I might consider. Because it gives me something to focus on. I know I used to in the past, and I've still done it on occasion, but if I wake up and I'm in that phase where like I'm trying really hard not to fall back asleep, I will grab my phone and open something so I'm focused on something, just scroll social media mindlessly because I'm making the synapses fire to prevent me from falling asleep. And I do that for a couple of minutes and my brain finally goes, okay, you're awake, go. So I'm wondering if doing that just kind of helps me shake the mental sleep inertia, the sleep fog in my head before hitting the ground running. I don't know, man. I don't know. I know having any time on my phone messes me up in the morning. I need to get up and get moving. Um, she leaves her phone in a different room as her alarm, but yeah, she does allow herself a few minutes to scroll while she does something else. Yeah, I don't know. In real time, I'm figuring this out. I'm sure the blue light phone at your face helps. Yeah, exactly. That's why I've done it. I'm like, just open something. Get something in your face to wake you up. To wake you up. And when I'm on point, I need to do this when I get home. I have the hue lights and I used to, when I'm on point, especially in the winter, I have them set to turn on at a certain time, like 10 minutes before my alarm. So typically I end up getting stirred by the light before my alarm even goes off. And for whatever reason, I haven't done that lately. I need to make sure I set that back up to leave the phone alone until I get to the gym in January when I no longer need it for my weigh-ins. It's so hard to wake up this time of year. I need light from a phone or in the summertime, the sun. Yes, I agree. It's a lot easier for me to get up in the summertime, and it's very hard. I know I suffer from, it's not clinically diagnosed, but I definitely suffer from seasonal depression. 100%. It's a little bit easier here in Florida because I can go outside and during the day and get some vitamin D if I want and heat, and it feels like summer. But at home, getting up and the sun is still down, or I mean, if I get up at 7:30 like I have been, the sun will be up, but it's the sun setting at 4:30 for me. That's like, come on. Now, benefit, by the time we actually get back, we will be over the hump. We will be over the hump of the shortest day of the year. The shortest day of the year is December 21st. So we will be over that hump and downhill. So I have that going for me. But still, in the Midwest, the months of January and February are very, very long. They are very long because it is so freaking cold. And then to top it off, for now, I have to check in with some friends in Minnesota. COVID is running rampant in Minnesota right now because everyone's inside. And It is what it is. We're less careful and everyone's inside. So COVID cases are through the roof. So there's like that anxiety and the shortest day of the year and it's freaking freezing cold. January and February are going to be very long months. Um, but at least knowing that, I'm like, okay, I can mentally prepare for this. Um, my hue lights turn on gradually between 6:30 and 7 and then switch to energize at 7. Oh, that's smart, having them switch to energize. I kept getting irritated because when you do the turn on, um it's only one setting. Sorry, I got distracted because I keep getting freaking text messages. And we are waiting on my darling sister's fiance has COVID, which means she has been exposed to COVID. So she is getting a rapid test as we speak. Her second one, she has a cough, congestion, but her first test that she got when he tested positive, she did not. She tested negative. So we'll see. So she's literally in urgent care now getting a test. And I'm anxiously awaiting the results because we're supposed to see these people in a week. So thankfully, he started symptoms on Friday. So by the time we get there, we'll be in the clear. And thankfully, his symptoms are only like sinus infection symptoms. He's not in the hospital because he apparently was unvaccinated. So he caught it, but it's just like a bad sinus infection. He's fine, which is great. But of course, I'm like, oh, good. It hit the family. Awesome. Great. Luckily, my parents' house, my parents, my sister, my niece, were not exposed to them at the time. So they're safe as well, which is great. But it's super fun news. When I text my other sister, I was texting her last night, or Christina, you guys know her. And I'm like, so what's the family news? Anything happened since we've last talked? And she's like, oh yeah, he has COVID. I'm like, why did no one tell me these things? Why does nobody tell me these things? She's like, maybe I wasn't supposed to tell you. It's all good. It is what it is. I'm thoroughly convinced, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be on this topic for a hot second. I'm thoroughly convinced we're all going to catch it at some point. Like at this point, I'm like, with everything that's happening, we're all going to get it. I feel like it's inevitable. Am I crazy? I feel like it's inevitable that we're all going to catch it. Yeah, I've heard that too, Amberly. I've heard that too, which makes me go, does that just mean that we're all going to catch it? Oh, I thought you intentionally changed the spelling. And just because, some people change the spellings on trigger words for like social and whatever. Uh, what the heck is an omni giraffe? How did it autocorrect to omni giraffe? I want to know what an omni giraffe is. Oh my gosh. Um, yeah, so it's a good time to get it and get natural immunity. Yeah, like I'm double vaccinated, I'm boosted, and if this is the route that we all go through to get it, we're all going to catch it. I'm convinced at this point. I'm convinced. Um so it hit my family. Cool beans, right? Um I want to set my lights to do that. Yeah. I love this time of year because I go to sleep on time almost every day because it's been dark for a while. That makes sense for some. I function like the sunlight is my battery. Like, so if we have a couple of days in a row where there's no sun, where it is dark and gloomy and rainy, you can tell I start to suffer from it. Even if I don't go outside, having the sunlight come in the window is a big thing for me. And it goes back to the whole I'm convinced I'm cold blooded, right? The sunshine gives me the warmth and gives me the energy and all that. And so I have a hard time when the sun starts to go down at like 4 o'clock. I have the lights in the living room set to come on at sunset, and it comes on whenever like the Weather Channel or whatever determines sunset's going to be that day. And there was one day it literally came on at like 4:03 p.m. and I was like, you can't be serious. You 4:03 p.m. What? Which is just kind of because then by 5, when you still have like the whole evening, you have the whole evening and it's just dark. And you know what I want to do? Now there's something I can't remember where I read it, but like there's something where you could take advantage of this time and make it a more restful time. And And that's great. So, like, if you actually focused on making it a more restful time of year for yourself, like, go hard during the day, but when the sun starts to go down, have a longer relaxing evening. Spend some time reading, doing crafts, resting, etc. Because you have this extended time of rest. Go to bed early, get more sleep, things like that. I've also read so like you can take advantage of things like that, but I just sun goes away and I shut down. I shut down, which makes this time of year hard for me. And then on top of it, it's the cold and just like mm. We were talking about future, like, in the future, where we'd like to live, whatever. Last night we were talking with his parents, and he's like, I'd really like to see you guys go somewhere warmer. I really would. Not just to like get us down to Florida, but like he knows it's not, my father-in-law knows it's not good for me to be in Minnesota. Like it's not healthy for me to be in that kind of cold weather. I didn't know you could get colder than that. Like I knew, but like I've never experienced colder than Chicago. Minnesota had a treat for me that first year, y'all. Um, we're all gonna catch it. We've already been exposed. Yeah. Um, yep. Good chilly morning. There's a bit of snow on the ground. Oh, yay. I mean, based on the eye roll, I'm thinking you're not a fan of snow, Kim. COVID isn't working its way around here, but flu A is rampant. Oh, no. That's no good. I still haven't gotten my flu shot. I was supposed to get that like 2 months ago, and I never did that. Shoot, I should do that. Um, that's so cool. I need to have lights like that for my husband. Yeah, they're so cool. So I won't lie, it's totally extra to have them. They're very expensive. They are $50 a bulb. But you can get like Hue has a 4-pack that you can get for $200 that comes with the bridge that helps connect them all and helps you control them, which is a $50 purchase in and of itself. So and the bridge will control up to 50 different bulbs, and they have so many different things. They have light strips, they have all sorts of stuff. And now we're basically committed to the Hue lifestyle. We bought them for fun once, and then we bought them for the living room so we could like dim lights and everything, and then we bought them for the bedroom because we thought it'd be fun to have like the opportunity to do colors and stuff in the bedroom, because why not. And now we use them so frequently, like they are integrated into part of our routine that we're like, well, we're officially Hue people now. Like, and we actually introduced my in-laws to them too. And so we have their family room area. We have a light strip up top that glows, and it's really cool. So for Christmas, that was our thing, was we set them up with some Hue, and it's fun. It is fun. It's fabulous, but it's also really, really practical, especially in the wintertime when you need the like bright white blue light settings for in the day, because it's just dark and it's 4:30 p.m. and you still need to work, right? You still need the energy, so you can turn on the energizing light, and then when the evening comes around and you're like, okay, I'm ready to settle, you can literally shift the hue of the regular light from bright blue white to warm white, soft white, which is much more, less blue light, less energizing, more calming, more warming tones, things like that. And you can fade them in and out. We have our bedroom go to like this relax mode, which is like a dimmer shade that like, so we can still see, but it's super chill to get you mentally ready for sleep. It has been one of the things that, like, it's totally extra, but it has been so tremendously functional in our house. They are so much fun. They're so much fun. Um, I had it and I'm vaccinated and boosted. Oh my goodness. And you got it after you got boosted? Um, I just make sure I use the sun time that I have, but it's kind of nice to get cozy and comfy earlier and relax, and I'm in bed by 9:30. Yeah. Yeah, there's that. And so it back at home, like I'm thinking about doing the same thing. Here, it ain't practical, which is such a bummer. That's the one thing that when we're in Florida, everything shifts to so late because apparently they're all night owls here. Like last night we stayed up till 11 o'clock before we were like, oh, it's 11 o'clock, which doesn't sound so late. Like I usually am up like in bed by 11 o'clock, but like we weren't even getting ready for bed. We were just chit chatting, and all of a sudden it was 11 o'clock. And that's normal here. That's normal. Um, Whereas at home, I'm like, oh, it's 9:30. Let me get ready for bed. And then once I start to feel tired, I will go to bed. And um, I tried going to bed by 7:30 yesterday. It took me about 3 hours. Well, yeah, if you're not tired, why would you go to bed? That is the one thing I learned from the first time I went to a sleep doctor is he told me to stay awake until 1 o'clock in the morning because I was having problems falling asleep and it was giving me sleep anxiety. And because I was under this impression, which is not a wrong impression, that like I need 7 to 8 hours of sleep. So I would try to go to bed early so I could get up early so I could get that required hours of sleep. And then I would go to bed early and then I wouldn't be able to fall asleep and it would stress me out and then I wouldn't be able to fall asleep some more. So this doctor gave me permission. He's like, "You know what? We are going to close up your window so you have more percentage of quality sleep. I would rather you get 6 hours of sleep with 90% efficiency than 8 hours of sleep with 60% efficiency. It's more productive for you to get the 90% efficiency sleep. Don't go to bed until 1 o'clock in the morning." So for about a week, I had to stay up until 1 o'clock in the morning and then go to bed and I would fall asleep as soon as I got into bed. And that just kind of, and then like magically my problem disappeared and I could go to bed at 10:30, 11 o'clock, and I could fall asleep for a while. Granted, now I'm on trazodone for sleep anxiety because it's a whole thing with me, but it helps. It helps to give yourself permission. So if I can go to bed early at like 9:30, let's say 9:30, but I'm very evidently not tired, I won't go to bed. Even though I'm like, "Oh, I could sleep for 10 hours tonight." If I'm gonna sit there and lay there, it's not functional. It's not a functional use of my time. So, that is something that I have learned is when you're tired, go to bed. But when you're and, like, physically tired, mental, like, the eyelids are heavy because like, I'm tired a lot. I'm tired a lot. But there's a difference between, like, just tired from chronic sleepy like, chronic illness and tired like you're ready to go to sleep. For me, there is a difference. And knowing that difference is super important. Hubby and I both got Delta, one vax, one not. Same symptoms, non-vax more mild than vax, and vax symptoms lasted longer than non-vaxxed. Same diet, both healthy pre-COVID. That's fascinating information, Lindsay. Thank you for sharing. Um, that's interesting that then the vax was more mild but lasted longer. Huh. So interesting. Not a snow fan. Girl, me neither. I got mine when I got my booster after getting flu twice. Yeah, you needed after last year, this year, whenever that was, you definitely needed to get that shot. Hue lights are great, but I also love setting them to alternate between concentrate and relax to help me focus. Yeah, but it's not like I had anything else to do, so I figured I might as well try and get more sleep. I have to find that sweet spot of time. If I go to bed too early, it doesn't work out well and I get a second wind. Um, my goal is 9:30 to 7:30. I need more sleep than most. Yep. Hi, Jordan. I think I slept too much last night. I usually get up at 6, but I didn't get up till 8, and now I'm even more tired. That is the worst. That is the worst. So, something that I have found tremendously helpful for that is the Sleep Cycle app. It has been very educational. I have used it for, I'm probably going on 4 years now. Like, I have used that app nightly forever because I use it even if I'm not setting an alarm because it will still track my sleep and show me my cycles and how I slept and everything. But one of the most helpful things that I've learned about sleep cycles is they are on average about 90 minutes long. So it is important that if you're going to get up at, let's say, 6:30 is your cycle is supposed to end, you're supposed to get up, whatever. If you decide that you're going to sleep in until 7:15, 7:30, you will literally sleep in until the middle of one of your sleep cycles, and you will have to wake yourself up out of a dead sleep. So if you can't get a full cycle and not start another one, you're better getting up. You're better getting up. So if the cycles for you, April, were on average, and you're normally going to get up at 6 o'clock, but you slept till 8, you got a whole cycle, and then you started another one, and that's why you feel so bogged down. It's super interesting. The thing I love about the Sleep Cycle app is when you set the alarm, it will actually trigger if it can sense that your movement and everything is happening and you're more awake than you would be in 15 minutes, your alarm will go off 15 minutes early because it's better for you to get up 15 minutes early than it is for you to start to fall back into that deep sleep and then have your alarm go off. It has been a wildly informative app. I really, really love it. I did doze a little at 7:30 and woke up and couldn't fall asleep until closer to 10:30. Yep, yep. Yeah, so if you dozed off and your body just wasn't ready for sleep, um, that's yeah. Uh, no, Vaxxed has more severe symptoms and oh. Wait, Vaxxed had more severe symptoms and lasted longer? How weird. I must have read that wrong. That's so strange. I started taking CBD at night and I sleep so much better that my body is naturally waking up at 6 a.m. energized and ready. Yeah, I love that. And I have been waking up naturally close to my alarm, and which has been nice. Some days the alarm wakes me up a little bit, but it's a little easier to get up. But like if I'm now the person where like if I wake up, because I wake up at least once in the middle of the night because my husband got up to go to the bathroom, whatever it is, something wakes me up. I'm a very light sleeper. And but I've gotten to the point now of like I'll check the clock. If it's like 4 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning, I'll be like, screw that, and I'll try to go back to sleep. But if it's like 6:30, 6:45, and I'm like, well, I'm awake. I'll get up. I'll be like, it's probably better to just get up, you know? Um, good advice on good sleeping advice on going back to sleep and sleeping in. I like the concept of the app, but the Android app is far behind the Apple one. That's right. You mentioned the app in the past. Yeah, I have mentioned this app a billion times. A billion times. I love this app. I use it, like I said, every single night. Which is funny because I don't really need to anymore because I have the ring, but I still turn it on because the ring's not gonna wake me up. The ring is not gonna be like, "Oh, your sleep cycle is over." The app will wake me up when my sleep cycle, like I said, if my alarm is set for 7:30, but 7:15 is a better time for me to wake up, it'll wake me up at 7:15. And I actually love when it does that because it wakes me up early and I'm like, "Oh, I still have I'm 15 minutes ahead." The app starts me 15 minutes ahead of time. Some days. Some days it lets me sleep till my alarm. So what it won't do is it won't go past your alarm. So if you happen to be in the middle of a cycle, but you set your alarm for 7:30, it will go off at 7:30. But what it does is if it senses that you're awake a little earlier, it will wake you up early, but it won't make you late. Um, the alarm on my Fitbit seemed to line up pretty well with the alarm on the Sleep Cycle app. I tell hubby all the time that if I wake up at 4 a.m. naturally, I'm all done. I must get up, period. I can't tolerate laying in bed. It's so hard for me. I wish I had that kind of energy. I do. It's hard for me. It's such a it's such an interesting thing because there are times that I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm so frustrated that I'm trying to, fighting to get back to sleep, blah, 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 blah. And then there are some times that I'm just like, should I just get up? Because laying here is not effective. But also at the same time, I read a book where, because you're supposed to there are a lot of studies on sleep where it's like if you are awake or you can't fall asleep, it's more productive for you to get up, go do something else that's something low key until you're tired enough where you think you can go back to bed and actually fall asleep. Like a lot of people have said that. But then I read a book that's like, here's the thing. Just because you're not sleeping doesn't mean that your time in bed isn't restful. So at the end of the day, if you're struggling to fall asleep at 4 a.m. because you got woken up, it might not be counterproductive to just kind of lay there. And even though your brain is still awake, even though you're not falling asleep, to actually just allow your body the chance to be still and to rest and to not use energy, there's also benefit to that. And so after I read that, I was like, that's a really interesting thought because there are nights where I get woken up and I can't fall back asleep. And then I get angry that I can't fall back asleep. And so I'm like, what if I just lay here and let myself zone out, daydream, pray, whatever it is that I want to do, but understanding, accepting that this is still restful time for my body. It might not be as restful as me sleeping, but it's more restful than me getting up and doing something before my body's ready. And ever since I started doing that, it's been really helpful because even if I zone out a little bit, I'll go like in between sleep or whatever, I still at least rested. And a lot giving myself permission to do that because I'm big on permission. Um, which is why I need like doctors to tell me things are okay or whatever. Um, it helps. Bye. Um, are you going to Publix when you're done, or are you coming back and are we going? Okay. Um, I'm the same way. I will just get up if I've had at least a good 6 hours of sleep. I wonder if you could set a range on the app. Like as long as I'm up between 7 and 8, wake me at the best time possible. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you can do that. Um, that would be a great feature for people that like don't need a specific time to get up, but like I would like to be up by 8. Let me sleep. That would be a great feature. It really would. Because then depending on the day, like if your sleep cycle happens to end at 7, it can wake you up at 7, but if it's 7:45, that would be a great feature. When I wake up early, I like to get up, but I have terrible timing and I actually need to wait 30, 45 minutes to get into the bathroom. And then I'm thrown off because I'm in this weird limbo. I kind of get that. Like I could have gotten up when my husband was in the shower and like gone to the other bathroom, but I didn't because I'm like, I want to get up and I stumble into the bathroom and it's great. Um, so I kind of get that, but also there are some times where I'm like, if I'm awake, I will try to get up and do something. They say if you can't fall asleep in 20 minutes, I'd rather lie there and rest though. Yeah. And that's what I've started doing and it's been working fine. Hey, nobody asked you. Did you hear that? I don't even know how she gets that growl going. Ah. There are times when I need to sleep, I put a sleep mask on and force myself to keep my eyes closed and pretend I'm sleeping. Oh yeah, I do that too. I don't when I'm laying there in bed, I don't keep my eyes open. I keep my eyes closed and I lay motionless as if I'm sleeping. But sometimes the brain is just going. But what'll happen is I'll usually, even if I don't fall dead asleep, I'll zone in and out of probably the REM phase, which is like the first level, I think. Um, I think you can set it with no alarm, a specific time, or within a 30-minute range. Ooh, the 30-minute range would be great. Interesting. And like, so what it can do, what you could do is you could give it a range that's like, here, let's look. Gracie, honey, you don't have to do that. You don't have to. Let's see. Weekend mode, profile settings. I'm looking, y'all. I'm looking. Wake up phase. So there's a wake up phase that can be between 30 minutes is recommended. I'll change it to 30 minutes. You can do 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, which they have as recommended, or 45 minutes. Sleep cycle will wake you up within the time frame you set, with your defined alarm time as the latest possible end time. Our favorite is the 30-minute window. That one gives you ample time to reach your lightest sleep phase and wake up fresh and rested. I had mine set for only 15, so I'm going to change it to 30 and see if that changes anything. So that means that I will be woken up between 7 and 7:30. I actually I really like that. So yeah, you can get up to 30 minutes of a window. So it's not an hour, but it's 30 minutes, which is or 45 minutes. You do 45 minutes. I just lay there forever. I'd have to be restrained to stay in bed for a full 20 minutes while awake. I need whatever coffee you drink, girl. Although you live on like that nice high protein diet and everything. Um, my guy started barking when Gracie barked. Gracie likes to cause a riot. Just popping in between work meetings. Hi, all. Marie, we have missed you. Good to see you. My Fitbit is set to wake me within 30-minute window, but Hue lights are set for the end of that window. And I'm wondering if I should adjust. So how does it work? Do you have an Apple Watch? No, the app. So all you do with the app is you plug it in. So you set your alarm. Here's your alarm, right? I have it set at 7:35. Ah, I don't know why it says no wake up window. I need a wake up window, y'all. Oh, yes, a wake up phase. will go off at 7:30. Oh, so they okay. Oh, that's the problem. Oh my gosh. So they have 2 different alarm things, and I forgot about this. They have one that is the wake up easy wake up window where it'll actually engage your sleep phase, or they have a new setting where it's just an alarm and it tracks your sleep. And I have been using the just an alarm no wake up window because I haven't actually been reading the text. Ah, I gotta use this one. And then they have a weekend mode where it has no alarm, but it will still track your sleep. So then what it does, what you do is you turn it on. And so the last thing you do is you set the alarm. And then when put it face down on your nightstand. So this will not work if you do not sleep with your phone next to you. But what it does is it runs the microphone all night. And so it listens to your breathing. It tells you if you're snoring. Can you see at the bottom right here? These are all the times that I've snored. And I'm a chronic snorer. So this was actually a pretty light day for me. I have days, oh, this was a really light day for me. Look at that. But I also have days, let's see if I can find a real good one. I mean, all of them. That's a light day. Ooh. Well, this one's pretty good. Or, all right, let's do this one. See, like I kind of snored pretty much all night until I got woken up. And then when I got woken up, I stayed awake. So it shows you the different phases of your cycle and everything. And did you have consistent cycles, things like that. So today I actually had like this is why I'm feeling energized, right? It only says 76% sleep quality, but look at this like I have very delineated cycles as opposed to something where like I don't fall into deep sleep or I don't something like that. I woke up at 7:10 all by myself and it knew that. I didn't turn my alarm off. Or did I turn my alarm off? Now I can't remember. No, I can't remember if I turned my alarm off, but it registered that I had woken up and grabbed my phone over here, and then I turned it off because I was awake. Um, so what you do is you turn it on, you put it on your nightstand, and it tracks your breathing, tracks sounds around you, and whatnot. And then based on when you're in a deep sleep, you don't move. You don't move when you're in a deep sleep. When you're in other cycles of your sleep, you move more frequently and things like that. So it can tell based on the sounds where you are in your sleep cycle. So it's a cool app. It's a very, very cool app. Where is like statistics? I have used this app for 1,580 nights. Like, I love this app. I use it all the time. Is this on your Fitbit? No. No, this is a separate app. It is called Sleep Cycle. Open. It is this app right here. Orange with a clock called Sleep Cycle. And they do have a premium feature that lets you track all sorts of different trends and things like that. But like you don't need the premium feature. You can use the free app. And it works so well. It works so well. I set my Fitbit to use the window and then got upset. It was waking me too early. I feel that. I like to have it set so it'll wake me up at the optimal time, but I still wait till the latest time to get up. It's a problem. I wonder how the data between the app and the Aura Ring compare. Most days they are pretty close. Most days they are pretty close. Let's see. Let's see. So my journal for today: in bed for 7 hours, asleep for 5 hours and 47 minutes, according to Sleep Cycle. Today, this one was more generous. In bed 7 hours and 28 minutes. So see, that was the difference. I didn't turn off my hour Aura Ring. Um, and maybe I stopped moving. I don't know. Aura Ring had me in bed for a little bit longer. Total sleep 6 hours and 48 minutes with a sleep efficiency of 91% instead of a sleep efficiency of 76%. So here's the thing that we are unsure of. And that is if my husband got up and made noise, how much of that did it attribute? Like if it picked up some of his sounds. And there are times we both have the app going and it is aware. There'll actually be a little link button on the app that shows that it knows another sleep cycle is present, that you're in the room with your partner. So a lot of our stuff looks kind of similar, but you can still tell there's individual aspects of it, which is really interesting. But like it could be that like maybe my husband bouncing up and down or whatever made the app think that I was moving when really I wasn't or something like that. Um, Does the Aura Ring do the same thing? The Aura Ring tracks my sleep, but it's not going to wake me up. This has no alarm capabilities. I wish the sleep cycle app would tell me how long I've been in bed versus asleep. Well, does your Android app not do that? Because I was like, mine does. Hasn't Eric's name popped up with a question mark in your history once? I don't remember. Although it's funny because on multiple occasions it has picked up Gracie making noises and it has thought that it was a baby crying. And I was like, so the first time I saw that, I was like, why is there a baby crying in our bedroom when we have no children? That's super interesting. And then I realized it was picking up Gracie. Gracie was whining about something, which I thought was funny. So yeah, sleep cycle. Anyway, bye, Amberly. Have a great day. And speaking of, it's 9:45. So let us do our thing. I'm actually, because my handwriting is freaking chicken scratch, I am going to, why is there no update from my sister? It was only supposed to be 15 minutes. Results. Do, do, do. So I'm going to read straight from the app because that's easier. Psalm 46 verses 1 through 5 is today's thing. And this is another one where you know you've been in choir for a really long time when you start to read Bible verses and you're singing. You're singing. And this is another one. I'm like, and there's the song in my head because I've sung this a billion times. God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear, though the earth give way and the mountains fall into the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam and the mountains quake with their surging. There is a river whose streams make glad the city of God, the holy place where the Most High dwells. God is within her. She will not fall. God will help her at break of day. That's it. 6 is the next verse. So that's our Bible verse for the day. Mine tracks when I go to the bathroom as snoring. Marie. I got tested a few weeks ago, even though it was supposed to be 15 minutes. It took them over an hour to actually type up. Oh, good. Because she's like, I think she's waiting in a room for the results. Your faith action item for the day. Identify a unique challenge you've faced and consider how you can bring the love of Christ to other women who have experienced that kind of suffering. And our wellness action item. Everything becomes a song in my life. I know it. For every phrase, for everything, there's a song. There's a song. Body. Dig a hat out of your closet and wear it while you're outside this week. Blocking the sun is a great strategy for preventing sun damage. Wear a hat, y'all. Wear a hat. Although this time of year, you wear a hat for a completely different reason. So those are your action items. Happy day. And yeah, anything else before we go for the day? It's been a long chat today, but chatting about sleep and sleep hygiene is super important. So I am here for it, ladies and gentlemen. In my old teen Bible, I had one color I used to highlight every verse I recognized from a song. Yep. When you grow up in a choir, does making a new hat count? I mean, sure, why not? I think they mean like more of a hat with a rim to keep the sun from being on your face. But this time of year, you put on the cozy hats, right, to keep your head warm. Anyway, my friends, it's Friday. Have a killer weekend. Like I said, we are celebrating Christmas here on Saturday, so we will be full on in the festive spirit. And I will see you all next week for the final week of the Merry Morning Show. And I will talk to y'all later. Have a great weekend.